Welcome back to the LEC and the caster desk ahead of SK versus Team Heretics here for our second game of the day, and a kind of a quick refresher as to what happened in spring for both of these lineups. SK, they made it into groups with a 4-5 record, but of course, a bit of a disappointment compared to how well they performed in winter. And for Heretics, an all-time low. I mean, a very difficult performance. Obviously, with only 2 splits under your belt, that's not saying a lot, but definitely not where the team wanted to be, especially after a notably better winter performance. It was a pretty rough split.
Yeah, they finished 8th in winter, 9th in spring. Nothing really to be proud of. They have to shake it all up, and I think the teams are slowly realizing that, you know, if we don't do really well in this summer split, we're not going to go to the Worlds. We have no chances. We're going to have like 6 months worth of break, so we need to really go all in. So they've gone balls to the wall and picked up Vetheo. They've moved Flakked in over Jack Spectra. See if these 2 new carries can do a big difference, shine for them, I think, is what they lacked a lot in the mid to late game. Jankos gave them a lot of early game direction, but they kind of teetered off towards the mid game.
Yeah, and while, I mean, we can't sing Jankos' praises enough, because if there was one shining light on what was a very dark season for Heretics, it was the man in the jungle. It was Jankos, kind of as expected, but in a way that we don't always get to see from a player of his history and a player of his caliber. Now I have to see if Flakked and Vetheo are going to be enough to change the story for this team, because really, it's all about championship points. It's all about placing as high as you possibly can, and they are down in the gutter with Fnatic. The only team lower than them right now, I believe, is Excel.
Yep.
So it's hard. You need to place very highly, probably 3rd or above, and that is a massive turnaround in performance. But one man who seems perpetually unfazed plays in the top lane, and I missed that. I didn't get that in MSI, but I needed that. That's the positivity I needed in my life. That thumbs up.
Through, yeah. I think he had a bit of a shaky spring, heavy overall. Xante was a normal fallback for him, but that started failing off towards spring as well. And then the other side, we've got SK. You know, SK came in as these new kids on the block. You know, the most veteran player on that lineup was Markoon, who only had like a year on Excel, right, and tried to make that Worlds run, in which they failed and got reverse swept by Fnatic, I think it was. And I mean, they kind of didn't really bring much to spring. I think they finished about 5th or 6th, and then they went into groups and they lost to, was it BDS and G2 in the first 2 rounds or something? Then it's got instantly knocked out, lost all 4 games, and then we haven't heard from them since. So hopefully they can reshape in summer and show what they showed actually in winter, not so much in the spring. We saw Exakick popping off with DOS in winter. Irrelevant looked like this big rock. Markoon loved early game dives. That kind of fell out of the meta with things like the Elise. So I think it's about finding their footing here in summer. They haven't changed any players, so they obviously trust this lineup.
I'm just saying I think everybody should wear the headband. You know, not just the man on stage with the camera, but everybody. That pink headband. Oof.
In LCS, they had like turtles on their heads yesterday and like balloons, the players in drafts.
Okay, we can't compete with that. That's truly...
They had a swimming pool, bro. Can you imagine we were casting this in a swimming pool? Wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time. I'm just saying. I'm trying to make it happen. No promises.
Yeah.
But I think the SK story is such an interesting one, because we've seen 2 teams over 2 different splits, winter and spring, really rise up. In winter, it was SK. Finishing top 4 was unheard of. In spring, it was BDS. We'll have to see if it could be Heretics or SK. So you get ready for summer as we get ready for their first game of the season. And while the Team Heretics fans and even the skeptics probably want to see how well this roster is going to work together, and I certainly do as well, I also just want to see drafts, because I think day 1 drafts are going to set the tone. And while the tone is very likely to be the same as it is everywhere else in the world, Vitality did upset the apple cart just a little bit, mixed things up, and I'm wondering if SK or Heretics have anything up their sleeve.
Similar bans coming in from the first game. Maokai actually taken away from Jankos. That's the only real difference we see here in draft, but there's the Vi. Now we're looking at things like, you know, the Gwen, not the Gwen, sorry, the Yuumi, then the Milio, the Zeri, the AD carries, the Aphelios perhaps is another target that you can try to take away. I think Flakked was a very team fight heavy scaling kind of player when it came to the EMEA Masters, you know, things like the Zeri, see if that's something that they decide to take away here, SK.
And it'll be interesting, definitely a good matchup and an opportunity to showcase what you're made of. Exakick was a similar story on the Zeri, especially in winter. Part of the reason that he was able to hit the ground running here in the LEC. Lot of picks up and available. Premier AD carries, premier supports. Jungle pool still relatively open. Wukong still on the table. At first, it's going to be the Yuumi.
Interesting. So Yuumi prio over the Milio is what SK are saying. So maybe Heretics can match it with the Milio Aphelios. Of course, here you can pick the Aphelios and some like Gragas or something and pick the Milio on 3. But,
yeah, but I don't know if people can hear at home, but people are saying boo, and then someone else said me. So it sounds like they're shouting Yuumi to cheer. So whoever shouted me as a follow-up, very clever.
Very, very clever.
Props to you.
It is. Yeah, and there's the Milio. Locked in. Lucian or Aphelios? Pick your poison. I like the Aphelios. I feel like Aphelios is bonkers.
I feel like Aphelios is definitely bonkers.
Also, now that I've properly learned the gun combos.
You love it now, don't you?
Like,
you can't help it.
Invested.
It's like in, you know, when like in college, I assume, didn't really go, but like when you've read a book that other people haven't, and you're just like really pretentious about it.
Referencing it every day.
That's how it feels to learn Aphelios.
It's like you can borrow it from me if you want.
Oh, if you not read Moby Dick? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't understand the metaphor? That's how it feels every time you talk about Aphelios.
And then you get them a copy for their birthday.
Yeah, you're like, here you go. Try this out.
So Zeri Yuumi. That's
wow. All right.
I won't elaborate further.
There it is.
And now, I mean, they could go Azir on 3.
I do like Lucian Milio, though. It's pretty explosive. We haven't seen it win yet, but it's pretty good. You think they're going to go Azir for Sertuss?
They might go Azir here. Then we're going to have Azir, Zeri Yuumi. They could go Gragas. They could go Azir. Ahri.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
And,
they're going to go Azir.
Snap. We're getting wild in the LEC. We're mixing it up.
We're going to take it away from you. I think that could have been a steal for SK to take Azir there, but Vetheo will pick it up himself. So
I like that they have an Azir with a Lucian. So you have a bit of like a mid-game champion, and Azir's also got more power in the mid-game, but can also go into the late game. You've got this nice kind of like baton pass of scaling
like
options.
Mixed popcorn.
Yes. You've got the salty and the sweet. What?
I don't like mixed popcorn.
All right.
Overrated. You know, I just get surprised every time I take a bite. I'm like,
what do you think is good popcorn? Is it sweet or salty?
It's salty, and I know you're gonna say sweet.
That's just wrong. It's definitely. Oh man. Okay. All right.
It's definitely what sweet.
I mean, I think mixed is the premier option.
Mixed is the play. That's even worse. Anyway, Nocturne taken away. Nocturne Yuumi. I wonder if they take away Kha'Zix too. Have I disappointed you?
A little bit, yes.
Are we still friends?
I mean, we are absolutely still friends.
Is that what they say? Dente?
What? No, I don't know. I was about to say they're. I don't know.
Dente?
The problem is I'm so disappointed in you that I'm just like I'm struggling to speak. But don't worry, we're still friends, and I'm still pretty convinced that this draft is going to go exactly how you'd expect it to go. That said, no one is banning Wukong.
Yeah, we didn't see Wukong last game either.
And I want to just
we did. We saw the ban last game.
Yeah, we saw the ban last game. SK really struggled to make the Ahri Wukong work last season, and maybe they've stepped it up, maybe they've improved it, but Team Heretics could also just opt to pick it if SK don't ban it here, so it's a difficult one.
Want to see me pick Wukong again? No, they do actually want to see them pick Wukong again. So SK, I mean, I think this is the exact same draft similar to last game, you know, so what are we going to get on 4 here? Are we going to get a Sion, or are we going to get a jungler to counter-pick top? I mean, Wukong would make sense.
I'm just saying, in the same way that you undervalue mixed popcorn, I think teams are undervaluing reliable CC and setup, but Heretics not going to fall into that.
Ooh. They say, screw your CC.
This is crazy. Why do people keep doing this? This is so... Okay, there we go. I'm balancing it out. There it is. There it is. The Gragas coming through alongside the Kha'Zix.
Yeah.
Double AP topside with the AD jungler. Love to see it.
Maybe you can just go Sion here if he wants to. Just match tank with tank.
Or...
Yeah.
No,
you're going to get your hopes up. Mersa's just...
this is also sick. This is a classic.
Okay, Aatrox, heavy Aatrox. What about the Tryndamere? Are we going to hover that one as well? No, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
So, dude, why do pro players do this, man? It was the same last game. Someone was hovering Yone when they're obviously going to pick Lulu or Yuumi or something. But anyway, yeah, Heretics team fight and SK team fight with the Kha'Zix Yuumi. So let's see if the Kha'Zix Yuumi can cook something up. At least they have a little bit more CC than Vitality at the moment.
More CC setup, some engage, disengage opportunities. I think a bit more balance overall, but still, if we get later into the game, I feel like Heretics overall better front to back kind of draft. Whenever you have a Sion and a Azir together, I'm just like, ooh, you are set up for team fights.
Yeah, Sion Azir is the bread and butter. It's like the core of a team fight sometimes in a draft. But Flakked and Vetheo, let's see how well you can do on this Heretics lineup. Changing the carry seems to be the direction that the coaching staff wanted to go in.
And we talked a lot about scaling for Flakked. For people who didn't watch him, in the RLs, in the EU Masters, it was a lot about get him late, get him on the Zeri. And when you watched him domestically here when he was on G2, it was a lot of kind of the weird utility picks. So this is going to be a new look for him, at least in terms of what we've seen from him in the LEC. So excited to see if he can make his mark with this Lucian.
Yeah, he's got 1 Lucian game this year, and he lost. So we'll see if it was his first game of the year as well. in the Superliga.
Yeah.
But I'm sure times have changed. A lot has happened since then. They've had a lot of scrims under their belt, and he's playing up against the Zeri Yuumi. Let's see if they can punish that a little bit in the early stages.
Cannot wait to see it. Time to get into our second game of the day. Team Heretics versus SK Gaming. And here we are, onto the Rift, ready for some more predictable bot lane meta, but unpredictable top side a little bit. Flakked laying down the challenge.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Kha'Zix at MSI, of course. I think G2 were the ones to debut it in the early stages of the tournament. Very pick heavy, very farm heavy, you know.
Do you remember when we really were absolutely convinced that, or at least I was really absolutely convinced? Oh yeah, you weren't. We didn't have this conversation. I was convinced that it was going to be AD or like aggressive jungle, tank mid, and that was going to be the meta throughout the entire tournament.
Galio or
yeah,
something?
Kha'Zix Galio.
Like...
Not Nidalee Sejuani, but stuff like Nidalee Sejuani.
Yeah. Didn't they play some kind of Nidalee comp as well in MSI? Nidalee was hovered on a little bit.
G2 tried it.
But no, it was just really CC mids, wasn't it? It was more like, well, they were kind of tanky because they built Everfrost and Rod of Age and stuff, but it was just, you know, Gragas to Sandra. I'll CC them. Use.
Yep.
Oh, Sion level 1. So, SK have matched it. Irrelevance here. Go on, let's have a little bit of a fight.
QK. Q not connecting is big.
Those are some important Raptors. 10 people for Raptors.
Yep.
Who's gonna get him?
Who gets the nuggets?
Shooting fish in the barrel.
Down, Jankos left in, but it doesn't look like he was able to get the smite. 2 CS over to Markoon. Does seem that he was able to steal that one away, so heads up play. Team Heretics burning a lot of time in the area, but get very little done.
Bro, it's like, you know when you have like two pets, you know, 2 dogs, and there's a glass window in front of them both, and they're both barking at each other, and then you open the window, they both just run away. Yeah. That's what happened there. They took damage and disengaged.
Relevant. This is not a good start for Evie. The body slam connecting means the cooldown is much lower, 3 seconds.
It's gonna hurt.
Just gonna go again.
Can you land it again?
But do you just get run down by Sion in his passive form?
Can't get run down by the Sion if you don't kill it.
True. This is gonna be a tough laning phase for Evie. He might need to back and TP early.
Yeah. But Sions are used to that.
Getting aggressive again. This is the level 2 we saw in the previous game. What? What are you doing?
He died! He died! Hey, he died!
What?
What? Hey, like...
What? Can we... Yo, can we...
Good play by Irrelevant. What?
Can we check VAR on that? Like... enhance?
Give me the rollback.
What was that an Ahri kill? I think that was Ahri. Ahri killed Yuumi. What is Ahri? Is it like a fish? Fish killed cat? Is there a lore there that I can look into? Is Ahri a fish? I don't know.
Okay, calm down. What?
Let's look, you'll see it. It's the Ahri. Let's see. So they level up on this range creep.
Okay.
Dash. I don't know why DOS disengages here. He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna hit him. Boom, boom, boom.
He takes warm hugs, so there's no CC. Just
no, it's the auto attack.
Doesn't push. Okay.
Something was flying
Markoon
in the air.
now getting aggressive on the Jankos.
Yeah, wants to take him off his red buff. 3 camps bot side into invade top side.
I like the heads-up use of the red buff advantage, getting aggressive there. Jankos, once he burns the clone, doesn't really have a way to win out in the 1v1. Sertuss, top side of SK now trying to make up for some of the fumbles on the bottom side. This bot lane not going well.
Happy little accident.
That was a sad little accident. This is not Bob Ross and trees. That was entirely avoidable.
It's SK Gaming and Cats.
Yeah.
Managed to get the 2v2 kill there.
And I wanted to sing their praises. They brought us ice cream, you know? I wanted them to do well and be rewarded for their generosity.
Ice cream.
Yeah, but there's a lot of screaming right now, and it is not the ice cream. They cannot be pleased with that one.
Well, at least he's got his summoner still, so if they do end up in a 2v2, you know, DOS just doesn't disengage, same levels, you know? Just, it's like if you don't look, you know.
You just let it go.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. We get 1 bot lane. We're at a rate of 1 bot lane int per game. Upset had a happy little accident where he dashed forward and immediately died. Now DOS has had one too, so 1 per game.
1 per game. That's it. No more. Then you're breaking it. Breaking the game itself. X-kick. Are you going to have a dash forward?
Sped away. Nice slow there to stop Flakked from potentially following up as Markoon. Presence will be known here momentarily on the top. So that vision a bit confusing. The ward is in the brush, so I believe Markoon is spotted.
It expired, so Markoon now knows. Markoon, the ward just expired. Did he see it? No, he's going for the gank anyway.
Doesn't care.
Wait.
Leap in. Bit of damage. Body slam flash. Evie running under tower, but they're not going to kill the Sion. to be able to stand up tall.
Jankos is going to get pushed out of doing the Krugs. Mersa wants to leash them for him, so he's probably going to try to tank them because he really needs these camps taken away from Markoon. So top flash trade.
Exakick.
Gets it. Big. Exakick. Does he get any back? 1.
Oh, Autos come through.
2.
1, 2. That's a decent amount of gold. 28 gold. To his back pocket.
Yeah. And Evi's staying. Maybe he's going to Sion Q him out the push. Nope. Not going to land. He's trying to get this wave in. Irrelevant's just kind of like... Does he have a biscuit? He has a biscuit here. Maybe he can look for...
Walking forward. That's slow. Nice, though. Or the Slayer. Keeping him out of range, but...
I'm surprised Irrelevant put a point in Q. Now, that might surprise you, but in the LPL, they don't put a point in Q until level 9. They just max WE the whole time. 0 points in Q. Costs too much mana, doesn't do enough damage, don't really like it.
Yeah. Doesn't interrupt the Sion Q. Yeah,
Doran Shield just out-heals it anyway, so...
Yep.
Well, basically. So you don't really look to invest in it. So here's a base coming out from Exakick, still sitting on that longsword. Mersa's gonna throw a ball at him.
DOS. Knocked back.
He has the campfire emote, Mersa, playing Milio.
That's respectable.
So he can put 2 cozy campfires there with a tent. Oh my god, the lore. See if he does that. I want to see that combo in a team fight.
Just keep saying the lore about things. There's no lore.
I want to see the crazy team fight. Raptor respawn has been the aim of the game. Jankos has really just been taking away Markoon's Raptors, and Markoon's been taking away his Raptors. So Jankos has decided, you know what, I'm going to go do the Dragon instead. Or maybe he's looking at a bot dive. They have so much defensive tools, though.
Mark, you can't just keep saying weird stuff and then bringing us back on the screen.
I have to just
the people are going to notice
happen.
eventually.
Oh, here comes the bot dive. Can they dive this?
Essentially in trouble here. Dash back, Ignite now ticking. That's so much healing now. Mitigated, but Exakick still standing for now. Dodge still standing. Minions not going to hit him.
Get him, Yuumi.
Going in. Fishing for it. Oh, like Messi. He finds the goal. It's with his hands, not with kicking the ball, but he makes it work. SK now looking to follow up, looking to collapse.
Oh, Mersa, best Messi impression there. Managed to get the kill in that
I thought
dive.
he was going to kick the ball. The call didn't make any sense, but we'll take it.
God, the way you the way you said it just made me believe it. Did he kick the ball? Let's see. Was it a handball? We're about to find out. Yeah. Exakick gets exhausted. Jankos gets the damage down. Flakked gets exhausted. He's got tower aggro, so he ends up dropping it. Drops it really close last second by flashing out.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jankos gets aggro. So now it's Mersa, who just walks.
Yeah, it's not a ball. That's his hand. That's a red card, but you get the kill, so we're taking it.
That's a red card. Mersa managed to get it. So that's 2 kills to the Milio, so he's going to build towards that Australia's quicker.
Why did the Milio get... That's not good for Team Heretics, but it doesn't matter. You have to be feeling pretty good. Again, this is your swapped-in bottom lane. You know what I mean? Flakked and Mersa, you want to hit the ground running. You really want to show your stuff. And 2 kills already. Yes, you would prefer that they would be on Flakked, but already an excellent start.
Yeah. Mersa going to push away Markoon. Exakick's just going to fly across the rift and say, hi. See if they can contest his blue buff now. Markoon's pushing in. Sertuss is right behind him. Flakked's catching the wave. No subs on Mersa means it's a bit hard to walk up. Looks like they should be able to pick this one up.
Really just trying to mitigate Jankos' ability to farm his early jungler. Sertuss waiting off to the side, just going to try to one-shot this Wukong. Ignited now running for his life, but there's Exakick. Clean pick, but it's jungler for jungler trade thus far. Now Exakick is in no man land. Scooped back. DOS now running to safety. With Sion and Cat working together. The lore, would it ever happen? Hard to say, but Vetheo on the hunt has to be careful, and we'll walk away.
I can get you on the lore train. So that's 2 kills to Heretics. Jankos ends up falling. It's kind of Exakick just going way too deep there. He dashed over the wall and then realized this was a mistake. DOS hovering around mid, maybe looking to just try and shield some of the damage. Sertuss still has the ultimate. See if he wants to dash forwards.
Yeah, Vetheo very healthy.
Yeah.
You know, even with E-Flash, I guess if you have a Yuumi there, maybe it's enough, but it's not your best friend. Exakick's still presumably the best friend, which is a weird thing to say in a serious competitive sport, but that's the name of the mechanic.
Yeah, you're not my best friend. Why would I help you? So this is Jankos walking in. Sertuss lands the charm, gets the Ignite down, gets a nice burst on him, and then eventually they get the kill. But then Markoon dies to the culling. Now watch Exakick. Where is he going? Dashes on top of Heretics, gets pushed back in and dies. And then DOS gets out with Sertuss. So on the picture-in-picture, we can see Markoon picking up that Herald with the Kha'Zix Q evolve. You can murder the objectives really, really easily. Get through your camps. Single target damage is great. That's the idea behind it. You can farm faster. And so taking stock of the game, it's just basically bot side for Heretics that's ahead, which is quite of a new thing to say.
Yeah. I mean, when you look back at last season, kind of if you look at Winter specifically, it was a lot more top side doing well, and bot side was always struggling. It was a difficult season or couple of seasons for Mersa and Jack Spectra, but so far in this first game in Summer, things are looking up. Flakked and Mersa showing up thus far. Mersa almost a 1K individual gold lead. Again, not super impactful, but getting to Ardent sooner will actually matter a lot in these fights.
Well, indeed. So there's the first dragon started up for Heretics. Easy pickup for them. So you can see the Kha'Zix is power farming up in levels, just one level up against the Wukong, and the Wukong trying to start objectives. We saw Jankos try and start dragon earlier, went for the bot dive instead, get his team ahead as much as possible, and just be a disruptor in these team fights. Markoon gonna get that Umbo Glaive, you expect, try and get a lot of that vision away in the river and look for picks. Sion on back top.
Yep.
And the game's slowly quieting down a bit as teams look to build their first items. Flakked should have the Kraken Slayer in base. Huge spike for him. Exakick quite far away from that Trinity Force.
And the thing is it's just really easy for Team Heretics to kind of push the advantage they have on the bottom side, whereas for Kha'Zix and Gragas, the two parts of the map that are strong for SK, it's harder to push your advantage because you're not really going to get the Sion out of lane ever at this point in the game. He's farming up, he's stacking 336 bonus health, he's chilling, he's having a great time as he connects there on a bit more damage. And I think it's on Markoon to try to find some kills here to further snowball his advantage, because as we get later and later, especially now that there's a Crown of the Shattered Queen in the mid lane for Vetheo, it's going to be hard to find those picks.
He's gone Duskblade instead of Umbo Glaive, so he's going for a lot more damage rather than vision control. See if that translates into anything. See if he can get some kills down with that early spike of damage. Gonna move towards the bot side of the map with Sertuss. Markoon close to that level 8, but no camps to help him level up. No Everfrost for Sertuss just yet either. Flackett's flashes up in 4 seconds. Jankos is face checking on the ping.
Has to be careful. The charm goes in. Boom! Huge damage coming out. Jankos doesn't have a chance to run away into the clone. Sertuss now on the chase. He'll just barely able to make it on. The coziest campfire you've ever seen. An Exakick desperate to get the kill back, but just is delivered into the waiting arms of the Heretics. Evie now moving around on the backside. Markoon going invisible, but Evie's just waiting right here, trying to finish the job. Slowly but surely walking forward. He isolates himself, but now it's just Dot standing. Irrelevant on the top side. The cat knocked up. The cat knocked out and knocks down. The Sand Soldiers will finish the job. Massive performance from Team Heretics on the bottom side.
It's 8-1 in kills. It's a 3,000 gold lead. It's a lot of gold on your carries as well. This isn't just gold on tanks. Heretics are going to start to run away with this game. Irrelevant didn't have the TP to match Abby on the bot side. It looked like a free kill for SK. Jankos got so much shield and healing from the Milio, manages to escape, and Vetheo arrives just in time, so everything's going right for Heretics here.
Jankos going to do what he can just to stop this tower from going down. Irrelevant considering trying to fish for the solo bowl there. The fact that Jankos made it out of that is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's the second time he's walked through.
And again,
vision.
this is Duskblade Kha'Zix, the strongest member on your team, paired with the charm. You get all of your damage down, and Jankos still, look at that healing, the shielding, the cozy campfire to finish it off, the ulti coming out as well.
Yeah.
Very clutch.
Exakick dashes in to try and finish off the kill onto the Wukong, but ends up dying. You know, if Ebby doesn't TP in here, the jungle support of SK basically get out. But it's Ebby that comes in to make sure they get an extra 2 kills on top of the 2 they already got. And 4-0, Heretics get a lot of platings on this Lucian.
And what was once a strong jungler and a strong top laner in terms of at least the gold, you know, they're still a little bit ahead, but that's starting to fall away quite quickly, especially once we see Divine come through for Jankos.
Yeah. Just, you know, just don't look at bot lane items, you know. That Zeri, oh, hang on a second.
Push back, the charm was already burned. Sertuss now trying to dash out to safety. 1-2 tower shots.
Vetheo, how long on your E? Looks like it's not up. Long cooldown when he dashes forwards to push him under the tower in the first place, but you know, if Sertuss walks up there, I think Vetheo will be happy to jump on top of him again. And this is the kind of performance that we lacked from Vetheo in XL, you know. He just looked disjointed with the team. The lane phases are okay at times, but he never could really connect with his team. That was the most important thing. But this is the second time now that he's able to connect around this dragon bot side area, winning out the lane, pushing in the Ahri, arriving in time for team fights.
And whether you're a fan of the individual players, Vetheo and Flakked, or a fan of the team, Team Heretics, this is a perfect first game. Really showing off exactly what you wanted to see. Some good plays in the laning phase, some good team play overall. It is only a single game thus far, and they haven't won it yet, but a fantastic glow up in the early game compared to the performances we were seeing in their final few games in spring.
Definitely is. All they're waiting for now is the Gale Force on the Lucian and Jankos' Divine Sunder. Vetheo's base will get cancelled there as he's built the crown. Of course, for the Kha'Zix, and yeah, Dragon in 48 seconds should be an easy objective that they'll look to play around. Herald spawning around the same time. Maybe SK can look to cross-map something. Maybe trade off a neutral objective, but it's going to be very, very difficult. The Zeri barely even scratching a Trinity Force just yet, and Flakked's teetering towards that second item. So mid-waves are gone. Irrelevant's just been farming up here in isolation. The problem is his champion's not really going to impact the map with a CS lead, with a level lead. It's not going to change the game state unless he can make some kind of super play with an E-Flash onto Flakked, so we'll wait and see. But he will be able to get his top tower.
Yep. Has built himself a solid individual advantage, 1.3k gold in the lead, taking so many plates, taking the tower in the end. But Exakick and DOS very far behind, not even a completed Trinity Force. And once Flakked, you highlighted in the previous game, we never really get to see the Gale Force take over the game, but Flakked very much set up to leverage that second item spike as soon as he completes it.
Sertuss has Spellbook and he swapped to heal and he's grouped up towards his top side to fight Herald. But they're losing bot waves now. See if they can transition this Herald into a tower. They can place it mid to pick that up pretty easily. But yeah, they managed to cross-map something. Helps, but Heretics will stack dragons. What's the soul is the question. If it's a Hextech soul, that is going to sting. It's Cloud. Shout out to Elskig.
Our boy Atlas holding it down.
Always channeling the Cloud soul somewhere in the world. And now Flakked and Vetheo trying to siege onto this mid tower as Sertuss is catching top. That's their win.
Very successfully sieging onto this mid tower. Vetheo hasn't made it back quite yet. Bulb not quite there. Flash out to safety, however.
Jankos on the side. Next wave should be able to get that tower down. That barrel wasn't going to knock Vetheo in, but maybe he was just a bit scared. Doesn't want to give over that shutdown. Down goes the tower. They can put the Azir passive up as well if they want to keep that lane push.
So they will. They're going to use that pressure point in the mid lane to take over this bot side jungle. Give a few more camps over to Jankos, help get him out of the deficit he was put in early game by Markoon and SK. Everything working out well.
It is 2.5k AD, 1.7k on support. Huge, huge, huge bot. Leads, there's the Gale Force. This is going to be a nightmare for SK to deal with. This Lucian Milio on midwave. So much extra range, so much damage. So far ahead. I'm not sure if Exakick can be able to contest. He's going to have to give up until tier 2. Stop on the base there, but he has the tower next to him and he has 3 pink wards on the bot side of the map.
Crown is up.
Yeah.
There's no angle here for Markoon. I think the second he sees that passive's up, he knows it's time to walk away. And Flakked! Oh, he sees an opportunity. The flashes. Getting a little sloppy there. Markoon will make it out.
I think Flakked thought he had culling, you know. The way he was positioning, I think he thought he had his ultimate up, but it's 3 seconds away. Gonna pop the emotes. If he had culling, that was a dead Kha'Zix, but you can see the damage. He only got one auto attack off there because of the stealth. He's lost it now though, so Exakick's just dashing forwards with ultimate, and then they're just gonna run away, and they TP'd with both their solo laners too.
All right. Trying to force something here in the mid lane.
Okay.
Will at least grab the tier 1.
Okay, that was a lot of testing.
At a 3k gold deficit here, but they get the tower.
Yep.
And it's mandate Gragas. So a bit more damage potentially going to come in from Markoon and Exa. Well, everybody.
Interesting build path. It's got the Everfrost, got the Imperial Mandate, and
they really want the Kha'Zix to one-shot somebody. That's my theory.
That Kha'Zix is really far behind though. Dash forwards, keep behind.
Huge damage. The culling now coming out. The TP from behind is going to be big as Evie just tries to make sure that Exakick has no room to maneuver with. Immediately going to go for the CC, the double knockup, but now he can just leap over the wall. Again, the CC still coming in. Exakick doesn't even get the chance. DOS taken out too.
It's a montage in the mid lane, isn't it? Anything you can do, I can do better. SK double TP for a tower. Heretics double TP for 2 kills. Now they're going to move towards his top side, push out top, look to get that top tier 1. Markoon still has that Herald. Maybe he can use it bot lane to try and crack out all 3 outer towers. But these team fights are only going to get worse and worse and worse. Good damage from Flakked. The exhaust bought a little bit of time.
Oh, he dashes at the start. Oh, that's rough. Flash out to safety.
Yeah.
He's got no cooldowns left.
Chain CC now from the Sion, really. But yeah, TP comes in for Vetheo. Even doesn't really need him at that point. He's basically dead. Jankos flashes and gets the kill anyway. But he comes in to get a kill for his teleport. Evi's now go towards the spot side. Herald still in Markoon's pocket. Where is it going to go? I wonder if it's going to go towards the spot side. Heretics kind of think it's going to go down there too, but Irrelevant has flash. This could be a bit of an overcommit here. Irrelevant could run up and try to buy time, but nope, he's going forwards.
Not a lot of space here. The cat's back. Rest of the team on the way.
Oh, he's fine.
Leaping in, okay. So he is going to make it out. Burns a lot of resources to do so. That's the flash and the ultimate used.
Okay, so there's the Umbral Glaive from Markoon. I'm a bit surprised he's picked it up at 90 minutes in. Maybe he could have gone for it first, but maybe wanting that extra damage, see if he can find picks.
Maybe with the rest of the team at a deficit, he thought that it was, his job to build them back into the game, so picked a more aggressive item choice, but certainly did not pay off.
They're missing so many things here.
Ooh, and you wanted to know what the Herald plan was. The Herald plan was there was probably not a plan, and now it's just been thrown into the bottom lane.
It should crash, though, looking at the map state. Sertuss can escort it through bot wave. They should be able to get 3 towers, and they'll be sitting at 3 towers to 2, but You know, the gold is really not in their favor. 10-1 in kills. You can push out
Nashor's
lanes.
crown for Vetheo. He's huge.
Yeah, he is.
Same for Flakked. 2 items plus the extra lethality.
This is what Heretics wanted out of these signings. Out of the promotion of Flakked. Out of Vetheo from XL.
And again,
10th both times.
Not only do you want to do well in summer, but you want to do so well in summer that you can make it to the season finals. Only the top 6. 3 of our championship winners, or 2 to 3, depending on who wins this split, as well as the highest teams remaining in terms of championship points. Right now, Heretics only at 30, very much on the low end.
Yeah. 2 items slowly coming in for SK. They really need that Hurricane on the Zeri, and then they can start fighting back. We saw in the Vitality game the similar sort of thing. The 2 item comes in, you just have to throw everything at the wall. Try your best to get some kills or contest the next dragon, which is spawning in 5. Irrelevant has a good position off the side. Flakked, no flash.
Ultimate could be big. That's the ulti coming in. Irrelevant on the backside. The cast, where is it going to go? Holding on to it for a decent amount of time. It's not going to have a huge effect. Jankos creating so much space for the backline. Exakick unable to follow up thus far. Looking for his Zeri moment, but he can't have it quite
flash.
yet.
Vetheo has flash.
Vetheo on the backside. How many more scoops are we going to see today? Sliding. Won't glide quite yet, or slide. They are just going to back off on that one. Happy instead to settle for the Cloud Drake. Don't want to overcommit.
Thought he was going to dash in there and look for a flash. He had a couple of members stacked up, but yeah, they used a lot to try to get on.
No crown.
That's flash.
Has the dash. It's just going to go for the pushback here, but if they burn down, it's a big shutdown for Exakick. Can't quite finish it. Flakked right there. Exakick. Damage traded back, ticking. Won't go down.
Both 1 HP. Exakick didn't want to commit into the soldiers, and Vetheo didn't have any chase potential left. So flash used for barrier, had to use the ult to disengage. And you can see SK kind of threw everything at the wall there. They tried to get Flakked down, but just watch Flakked. Disengage was good. Irrelevant thought just dashing over this wall, hitting the Everfrost. Exakick can push him into the Gragas. Charm flash lands onto the Milio, but he dashes away with his Gale Force, manages to get out of the cast range, and then they can turn onto Irrelevant who has no flash. And like I said, Jankos buying time. Evi's there to be frontline. And then they managed to run SK down even without Vetheo. That was a 4v5 they can turn.
Yep.
And Flakked will have flash for the next time.
SK, and from the side of TH, good response from Jankos, creating that space, but you saw still fumbles a little bit on execution in terms of SK, not quite all on the same page. Markoon kind of backing up right as Sertuss and Exakick and DOS are going in, so not able to put all their damage down on a single target and find some of those early kills. Difficult game thus far for SK. This kind of deficit, this many Drakes stacked against them, it feels pretty tough to come back from. Do have some decent scaling tools, especially with the Zeri on their composition, but the way Team Heretics are playing right now, it feels like should be their win.
Should be indeed. So top tower is going to go down. Vetheo level 14 now, getting closer and closer to level 15 at 23 minutes. So he's going to be extremely strong in this next fight. Topside vision, SK is contesting, but Heretics are behind them. Can they pull the trigger here? Do they know that each other are there? Lots of pings from SK. They're a bit suspicious.
Okay, sees a ward. Okay, I think they have the information, but not 100% concrete information.
Yeah, they need to walk in here and start pushing them out of their own jungle. Playing this guessing game means they're going to lose top tier 2. Flakked's dashing forwards for it. SK going to lose this tower. Can't even answer. They'll put the Azir passive down as well. So that cat and mouse, smoke and mirrors, Heretics win out. They're going to keep going as well.
Are able to take away the crown passive at least. Maybe can try to burst through Veteo's health bar. Markoon W evolves second, and now Sertuss Vision Guard engage. It's going to connect onto 2. Markoon, though, immediately locked down and almost immediately take it out. They can retreat now to the tower, but Jankos out of the fight. Sertuss needs to keep this one going. Vetheo now in trouble. Sertuss having an absolute tear of a fight. Shutdown coming through for Exakick. Big from the mid laner on the side of
SK have to force. They'll never get something like that again in this game, so they're going to look for Mersa, or look for Evi, or look for Flakked, or look for a Baron start.
Ultimate just barely expiring for Sertuss.
Here it comes, the Baron start. Irrelevant can tank. Markoon should be able to shred through it a little bit with the isolated Q damage. No smites for Heretics, no ultimates to work with either other than Evi's. Mersa's a bit split, but he can get vision. How much damage can Flakked do?
Evi gonna get chunked out. Irrelevant just going into Flakked immediately. The carry is deleted, and it should be an easy fight pickup for the side of SK, but can they take the Baron?
Oh, they're gonna go for it again. Vetheo has TP in 10 seconds. They can't do this, Baron. They have to back. They're all pinging each other. Run the hell out of there. That's 2 shutdowns onto Zeri. Let's watch Exakick's items. How much gold has that Zeri just got? 1.3k advantage now to the Lucian. It was sitting around 3k before, I think.
And we have to take a look back at that fight when we get the opportunity to do so. See exactly what went wrong for Team Heretics and what SK were able to do to make that work.
I just think Heretics a bit greedy. They got the top tier 2, but then massive play from Sertuss. Look at this charm. Lands the Everfrost. Jankos flashes. Sertuss then comes through, and I think he lands another CC onto Jankos. There's the charm, manages to get the kill. Exakick then gets a huge shutdown onto Vetheo. 750 gold, I think it was. Yeah, it was. And then they chase down, push them out, get the kill onto Flakked. Now it's only a 3k gold lead for Heretics.
Yeah.
They're still on Soul Point. They still have control. Lucian's just got his Collector, so Flakked's on 3 items. But if this Zeri gets Titanic Hydra, I'm a bit scared for Heretics.
You start to get a little nervous. It felt like a bit of a done deal. SK and especially Sertuss finding the angle to make that fight work. Again, the Everfrost, the Charm, all connecting. Team Heretics, though, again, still heavily favored in the full 5v5 at this point in the game, and it looks like they are just going to try to bully down this objective.
Wow, okay, a lot of confidence to start this up, but Exakick has no flash. Maybe they're looking for a turn here.
Mersa taking a bit of damage.
Knock-up. It's going to come from Baron. This is slowing them down so much.
Knockback is going to hit. Evie now going to be in trouble just trying to burn through this top laner. Sion ult won't even connect. They can just walk away, be happy with a single pick. Evie out of the fight, and the Baron has been denied. Team Heretics, no opportunity to continue that one as they now retreat. Markoon waiting, lurking in the darkness.
Flakked. How much damage does this Kha'Zix have?
Oh, Blast Cone barely taking him over the wall. Half the health there with the WQ.
A lot of small mistakes coming out of Heretics is giving SK so much space to work with. They're going to get this mid tier 2. They're going to get a kill onto Evie. Culling to try and stop them, and it will do. Base coming in from the Yuumi, so SK are going to have to back away now. That Dragon's up in 30 seconds. They need wards on DOS.
And while Team Heretics had a much stronger early game overall, they've also got much less experience in these mid to late game scenarios on stage. SK have played 2 splits together. They've kept the same lineup, they've kept the same roster, and they're keeping their composure despite the early game deficits.
Heretics are saying, okay, go take that Dragon, we'll start Baron, but there's so much vision for SK.
Sertuss, the dash back. Good use of the Everfrost, is forced to ult, however.
Yeah, it doesn't have TP. Half HP, no ultimate. This Ahri is not that useful in the next fight, so Heretics can then walk in knowing that they have this somewhat 5v4 advantage. Does SK just give Cloud Soul? I think they might just have to.
It's a bit tricky. Obviously not something that you want to give away, but don't really think you have any other choice. Will be forced to concede it here. Good use of their mid lane prio. Good chunk out onto Sertuss. They are able to take Soul for themselves. That much more uptime on Mersa's ulti. The ability to cleanse makes the Ahri that much less effective, the Gragas that much less effective. Definitely a solid buff to have.
SK have some time to work with on this top side. Maybe take away camps, get a little bit of vision, push in this mid wave. Exakick getting closer and closer to that Titanic. I think they're going to have to wait for that item on the Zeri. Get the 3-item spike. Sertuss can build towards the Zhonya's, but it looks like they're stepping up here.
Now trying to get aggressive onto Vetheo, forcing the dash out, and again, Evie, this time able to ult out to safety. Will survive, but that's so many resources burned again, just trying to get something done. We'll break down the mid lane tier 2. Exakick continuing to step forward. Exakick so damn strong, and SK are determined to kill that top laner. The cleanse will not be enough. That's the Milio ultimate down. Jankos on the backside, Irrelevant now needs to make it up to safety. The second knockup now coming through. They'll trade top laner for top laner, but Exakick is still going.
Oh my god, Exakick is playing with so much confidence. One-man army with that Yuumi on his back. Just dashing into all of Heretics. Kind of playing a game of chicken. He doesn't even have flash. You know, if Vetheo wanted to turn an ultimate into his team, he would be dead, but you know, he's playing with the Gragas ult behind him to interrupt the Sion Q, manages to get Vetheo and Jankos' flash and turn it into a 1-for-1, and this all just came from him just pulling the trigger. Just runs at them. Heretics no response. Evie has to ult away, Vetheo has to dash away, and even then you think the fight's over, but no, he just keeps going.
Yep. What can you do? I mean, and again, good recognition that that tower's only got one shot on it. You can just keep stepping forward, that no one's in a position to fire back on him. And this is the champion that Exakick really made his name on in Winter. This was the combo, the first game where they really showed off that Markoon caught!
Big.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Big pick for Heretics. That's a 4v5, that's a Baron, that's a no jungler on the enemy team. TP from Irrelevance come in. Evie's off to the side. Exakick's flash is up in about 10-15 seconds. Gonna look to stall.
Evie trying to create some space, but Exakick just continuing. Throw down damage here. Slowly working through that health bar.
Scared.
Sertuss now going in. Massive charm. Massive setup with the Everfrost, but the Sion off to the side. Not quite going to connect. Exakick still untouched. Team Heretics are playing so scared. They're playing so nervous.
Wow. It's a 4v5. They don't want to commit to this Baron. They can't tank it.
They've got ults.
Trying to zone them away. Jankos is getting really low. Exakick has flash up now.
10 seconds on Markoon. They're taking a lot of time to get through this objective. Vetheo now fishing, but it's not going to connect. He's in the waiting arms of Exakick. Jankos now going in, but Exakick's untouched. Keep your eyes on that Zeri. We might just have a certified Zeri moment. The calling coming out. Won't quite finish the job, but Exakick still throwing down so much damage. They both go golden. Oh, that's horrible timing. Exakick versus the world, and baby Exakick wins those.
Triple kill over to the Zeri. That's going to be a Baron for SK Gaming. They've held on for dear life. That scoreboard at the top was 1-11. We're now sitting at 9 and 13, all off the back of Exakick on this Zeri. 100% kill participation, 700 gold shutdown. Baron to SK, Elder in 3 minutes.
Wow!
My god.
What the heck?
Markoon's dead. This is a 4v5. They can't tank it. They try to turn. Vetheo has no flash from the earlier play, so now he's a sitting duck, and Exakick gets taken a bit low here, but look at his repositioning. Look how he W's through the wall as he E's. Look, Jankos Sonya's E's through the wall, and W's at the same time, I think, to snipe off Jankos while he's looking at Vetheo. Keeps the stacks up. 3 go down. Easy Baron for SK in a 4v5 scenario. Now Heretics, all that gold lead is basically gone.
And look, I know how people feel about Zeri. I feel very much the same way. Despite that, Exakick played that phenomenally.
Yep.
And now is where the game gets very, very hard. Because this is the Red Bull Baron power play that could certainly start to break open the inhibitor line. And it's just such a hard... I think Vetheo at this point in the game can't afford to shuffle, can't afford to scoop. It's too risky.
Yep.
But at the same time, somebody has to make the play. You can't just leave Exakick uncontested on the back line.
It's only going to get worse. That's the problem. You know, that was a tempered Zeri when they were so far ahead with kills in the Lucian. Now, the Zeri's
It was a
even in
3K gold lead.
Yeah, he's going to get Wits End in base, then he can build towards Sterex or GA. You know, oftentimes in the LCK, you see level 17, level 18 Zeris with Sterex Titanic. They have 4,000 health. And it's so hard to take down. As an example, this Wukong has 2,000, right? So Exakick's sitting about 3K right now. We'll see if he builds more tanky items. Has enough damage to work with at the moment. But next objective is going to be that Elder in 1 minute 30 seconds time. And the Lucian Milio is still strong, but feels like the damage output is just so SK favored. And
dude,
Heretics can't lock it down.
We're going to have to start a support group for Zeri survivors when this champion leaves the meta. Like, I hooked her into my team, she killed everybody.
Yep.
I was 3K ahead, she killed everybody.
I blinked and she had a pentakill. Averages a pentakill a week, Zeri.
That's absolutely nuts. And you can see the difference it's making. SK continuing to play with
TP behind,
confidence.
TP behind.
Flakked now could be in trouble. Sertuss just keeps fishing for these angles into the fight, but it's Irrelevant on the backside. Irrelevant who could keep this fight going. We know Exakick is strong, but he might still need the setup, might still need the support from his team.
No flash, yeah. He won't have it for this Elder fight. Flakked does. Flakked is it's eyes on the Lucian, you know. Oftentimes when the Lucian's ahead, you really look to the Lucian to dash forwards and make the play happen, make the pick, chunk someone out. So Flakked really needs to step it up for this next fight. Gale Force on cooldown for now. TP from Sertuss is up. And SK have position around this Dragon. 3 seconds on Exakick's barrier. A lot more peel tools. DOS doesn't have access to the Shurelya's yet, but who can take the Zeri down? Who's willing to take the challenge? Jankos can maybe look for a knock-up, but Vetheo is the one who's going to have to shuffle him in.
Looking for the angle. Both sides just poking and prodding, trying to find a way in.
15 seconds on the spawn. They're ignoring midwave. It looks like SK. Gonna let it go.
Exakick
Look at the damage.
just keeps walking up. The slow gonna get that's a massive W. That ultra shock laser is
Oh my
huge.
God.
He's just taking his time.
Oh, Ebby has TP, so it's not the end of the world, but Mersa's a bit chunked out, has a few healing tools, but he's going to have to use the Cozy Campfire if he wants to top himself off. Mid-tier 2's gone. Exakick and SK starting up this Elder.
Trying to keep Jankos out of the pit. They need to take Jankos out, or this could be a 50-50, but they're not burning through the objective now. Their focus is on killing Jankos. Exakick, will he go over the wall? Irrelevant still making it out.
He's
No,
dead.
Flakked able to grab that kill.
It's big for Heretics. That's a 4v5. Irrelevant's down. That's a lot of frontline for Exakick to work with, but he still has the ultimate. Flashes up in about 30 seconds. Sertuss off to the side.
Looking
In
for
vision,
an angle
though,
on
they
the
see him.
backside. Still gonna go forward. Big charm connected on to Mersa, but immediately he's gonna
Zeri.
Exakick versus the world. Just keep saying Zeri's name. She has to find the angle. It's Flakked looking for an opportunity on the backside. Flakked on the rampage. Flakked who wants to try and turn it, but she might be too damn. She might die. She might die. They finally killed him. Zeri is down. I repeat, Zeri is down. Team Heretics take the fight.
They have TP on the Azir. Can they end, though? There's a mid-wave. They're thinking about Elder. They're pinging mid. There's 30 seconds on Sertuss. There's 40 on Exakick. Is that it? I think it might be over. Markoon can't proxy the wave. You kill the Zeri once. You can take the Nexus. Exakick didn't have flash. He couldn't get out of that last part of the CC. SK fought so valiantly. 20 seconds. Markoon can't hold this. Irrelevant has ult, though. Maybe he can try and slow this wave down. Are they going to have to kill Zeri twice? I don't think they want to kill Zeri twice.
Big. Minion wave is gone. Irrelevant deleting the whole thing. There's one single minion. Markoon will take it.
They're going to have to kill Zeri twice.
They have to kill him again.
They can't get Elder either. They're up in 5. They don't have enough time to take this down.
My
Are they going to
God.
rush it? Maybe they're going to have to. No TPs.
All hopes of playing this game clean from either side are gone. All that matters now is the win. All that matters is ending the game.
Can they
getting
get
it
it?
over and done with. Heretics.
Markoon?
Maybe it's enough power.
It's gone, I think, actually.
This is big.
It's gone.
Markoon isolated, objective down, Elder in their back pocket. Can they force the fight now? SK need to get away from this one. They're trying to burn through Evie. Evie ticking, but he'll still stay.
Exakick's gone in! What is Zeri doing?
You're strong, but you're not that strong!
They killed the Zeri again, Drakos!
But that's all it takes!
And can they end off that? 40 seconds, they have a mid-wave, Elder Dragon, Jankos is maybe dead.
What is he doing?
Is he dead?
Absolutely!
He's not dead!
What?
Sion's
How do people keep living?
Sion's going to the Nexus, Evie's done! Evie's done! Get him out of this game!
Team Heretics are finally gonna end the game! It took killing Zeri 6 times! It took so much, it took so many members living with almost no health! Markoon still standing! They don't have a wave for a second, maybe they can buy more time. Flakked in trouble, oh my god, Sertuss!
Can he get them?
Flakked hit the Nexus!
It's Flakked!
Flakked hit the Nexus!
Yo, Zeri's in 5 seconds! Zeri's in 5 seconds! Flakked!
Hit the Nexus!
Yuumi's up!
What are you doing?
Flakked's gonna die!
Oh my god!
Flakked's gonna die!
What?
Why did he hit the Nexus? Why did he hit the Nexus? I don't get it! I don't get it! I don't get it! He could have ended the game, but they have to kill it 3 times now! 3 times! How are we still in this game? This is gonna have to be a 3rd kill on the Zeri.
Okay.
37 kills.
All right, calm down, audience. You're getting too hyped.
Can we get a replay of the fight?
I don't know if I want the replay.
No, I want to see Exakick again.
Okay.
That was cool.
Was it?
No, that was great, you know? Hey, Exakick, can you save the game? Yeah, of course I can. Watch this.
Does he burn flash? Oh
No,
my
he
God.
just gets knocked in and then he flashes. And then he dies anyway. And then Drakos, and then they thought they could end. And then I think they could end. But you know what happened?
He didn't hit the Nexus.
They didn't end.
I don't know how Jankos lives here. How do people keep living?
Evie's just trying to do the bow special and
He's
then
just
Jankos
going down
lives
stuff.
and then...
Wait, how did they win that? Can we see that?
Is this the best or worst game we've ever cast?
This is a 4v. This is a 4v2. 4v. Oh my god. I think he thought the Elder would get the kill, but the Elder didn't get the kill.
Great charm from Sertuss.
Yep.
Good job holding on, SK. Again, no one walks away from this game saying, man, we played great, but someone will walk away a winner, and that's all that matters. It's a 9-game regular season. You need these wins.
Relevant?
Going out of the wall.
Relevant, no flash.
Might be forced to do anything he possibly can. Exakick waiting, but that's just going to be the top laner gone.
Gragas is dead. There's an open Nexus. It's a 5v4.
Surely the game ends here.
Exakick.
Calling.
Exakick.
Running away.
Exakick.
Body block the side. Now coming in this fall. They kill him. Zeri will die. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to hit the Nexus this time around.
Surely they're gonna do it now, Heretics. 3rd time's the charm. The late game Zeri falls.
SK, we're holding on to a miracle, but the miracle has faded away. It was sloppy, but Heretics are finally gonna pick up.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, a dub is a dub. Team Heretics find their first win this season.
And if you tell me if Zeri Yuumi can be beaten, I'll show you that game. And I'll say yes. Yes, it can. Flakked and Vetheo pick up their first win with Heretics on the LEC stage. And, well...
And the thing is, there were a lot of bold plays in that game. And bold plays are bold plays when you win the game, and when you lose the game, they're bad plays. So that win has to feel good for Heretics, because that Nexus play, that could have haunted them for the entire season, but instead they're able to find the win. They'll be able to brush it off.
That's what we were missing from LEC opening day. Hit the Nexus. Close the game. We finally got it. And handshakes all around.
Heretics early game, great. Heretics mid game, question mark ping.
Very question
Heretics
mark
late game.
Very question mark ping, but they got
Fine.
the dub.
They got it. They got it.
Wow. Well, certainly what a start to the season. I want to tune in for the next one. You can say that much. This Zeri champ quite strong.
Yeah, and you know, that's probably one of the funnest Zeri games I've seen. That was enjoyable. I like that.
Well, that was one of the games we've ever cast, and definitely a thrilling game, a masterclass in entertainment, but both teams will need to compose themselves, look ahead towards the next day.
It's crazy how they actually had a gold lead, SK, after that second fight where they managed to get the Baron. They actually had a gold lead. And then they went down mid, and yeah, everything kind of fell apart around that Elder.
But for Heretics, you know, if that's your first game with a super clean early game, sloppier mid late, like that's not a bad start to a season. Certainly. And this game against SK, who's kind of competing for you in the same way, SK has a lot more points, but right now kind of was in a similar position, or close-ish position in previous splits, or in the last split. I think that's a solid start.
You got the win, right? That's what you talked about it, right? You have 9 games.
And again, not good, but solid.
Yeah, solid. Drop the ball a bit, but, you know, pick it back up.
Player of the game, at LEC on Twitter, Vetheo, Flakked, Mersa.
Vetheo was consistent. Flakked was really fed with Mersa was also quite consistent, you know.
Mersa's pretty good.
Enough about.
Yeah.
So big fan. Big fan of your work, but
yeah,
interesting game.
Overall, hard to analyze that game in a way that's super positive, other than the fact that it was very entertaining.
It was fun though, wasn't it?
It was really fun.
I think if Flakked got a crit on that Elder, on the Ahri, he probably would have killed her, but I think he didn't crit for like 3 auto attacks, I wonder. I'd have to see the replay, but he must have thought he would crit and finish him off.
That's tough.
But he didn't.
But let's hear what he has to say about that game. Flakked standing by with Trouble.
Thank you very much, guys. Flakked, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the LEC.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I just want to ask, how does it feel being back on stage?
I mean, it feels really good. I mean, I just really love playing in LEC. There's as well like some like G2 fans also when I was here, and I can see like Kha'Zix as well cheering for me. What a giga chat! But it feels really great to be back in the LEC, of course, as well with this banger of a game. So feeling really good right now.
Well, you know what, Flakked, your energy sort of transforms G2 fans to Flakked fans to now Heretics fans because of you. And what a banger game that was.
Yeah.
You guys got super fed down in the bot lane. Why did the game slow down?
I mean, I think, as you could probably see, we are not the best as like when it comes to closing out games. Mm-hmm. I think we're still like lacking a bit more of like team synergy or like how to play more like synchronized together. But I mean, of course, like we're working on it. But yeah, I mean, sucks a bit, right? That the game got like mega close at the end, and we had to like flip stuff. But I think we're like slowly improving, and I think this is like the beginning.
Talking about coordinations and team fights, you guys had a fantastic team fight. We're gonna play it over. And I want you to give me a little bit of an insight of what was going on in the comms when that Elder Dragon was in your aim.
Oh, I mean, in this Elder Dragon, I mean, to be honest, like the comms were like mega chaotic. We were like so scared to face check. But we just found the Gragas like in the bush, and Jankos just went on him. And after he dies, it's like 5v4, we just need to play slow. But I mean, overall, like a mega chaotic game.
Yeah, you see the Ahri also was getting on the flank, and you chased him out.
Yeah. I mean, here I was just like chasing the Ahri because he was like kind of like mispositioned, and I was just like hoping that my team doesn't get like Zeri moment. I was just like, please don't die, I'm just killing Ahri, then I can just go on Zeri. But I think, I mean, I didn't check much of the fight, right? I'm not sure if we played good or they played bad, because I was like chasing the Ahri. But I mean, in the end, we won, so I guess we played better, I guess.
That was a great play. You flanked the flanker.
Yeah, legit.
No pun intended. Now, of course, when you were back on the LEC, it was a Felios meta. Over at EMEA Masters, you absolutely popped off on that champion as well. Are you happy with the meta currently, how it is when all the spotlight is on you?
I mean, I'm pretty happy with the meta, like the AD champions that I played, but like these Milio and Yuumi champs, I really hate them.
Even when they're on your team?
Yeah, I really hate them. I really don't want to see these champions ever again, especially the cat. But I mean, it's the meta, right? It is what it is. You just need to adapt and play.
Well, absolutely. And I guess when they're on your team, it kind of works, even if you hate playing with them.
They bang.
Talking about people or things that play with you, you're united with Jankos again. Yeah. How has it been playing with him? I
mean, it kind of sucks from all the G2 players that I get reunited with Jankos, right? Because he's like the worst, and like probably like mechanically and like macro-wise, he's like the worst player, so it sucks a bit. But you know, like I'm still happy to play with him. But like, I mean, jokes aside, I really like playing with Jankos, right? He's a guy that, I mean, we have like really good friendship. So it's really easy to work stuff and like talk through like hard stuff. It's really easy to like fix stuff and like find different ways of improving, and as well having fun in the process. So I'm like really grateful that you know, Heretics gave me the chance to be back here, prove myself, and especially with Jankos.
And you absolutely deserve it, Flakked. Congratulations again. What a
much.
phenomenal day one. We're gonna go on to a short break, but don't be back because we have our next game coming right up.
Getting aggressive again. This is the level 2 we saw in the previous game. He died! He dies! Hey, he died! No, but now it's just Dawes standing. Irrelevant on the top side. The cat knocked up. The cat knocked down and knocks down. He might just have a certified Zeri moment.
Nexus! I don't get it! I don't get it! I